everyone, it's Rachel here, and we are going to try to finish off this bag. Oh, there's that. Okay, this is what I'm going to bind it with, and I'll need to do that before I attach this. So let's take this off. So what I need to do is attach these bits, which I'll go ahead and do off camera, and I also need to attach that, and then I can put my binding on. So this one here it's very heavy. I went a little bit crazy, but this one is going to pop on there. I need to move these, that's crooked, down maybe like that, there. And I'm going to also stitch in my little cord, and then that wraps around there and holds it closed. So all I'm going to do is pin it in place and do just a little whip stitch with this thread around it, and I'll just catch this in, I think, in 4 corners. My needle pin cushion, and then I'm going to stitch on a couple of snap closure buttons on there, and then I'll come back and we will do the binding. So this, I'm just going to do a little running stitch there and just a little overcast stitch there to hold that, and then we can do the binding. So I will be back soon. Hey guys, so I'm back. I've just stitched it all down, and so let me just, this is not stitched on yet, I've got to decide about that. I just caught this on the corners, so it's actually I've got these antique scissors, aren't they gorgeous? You know, I could even slide a pair of scissors. I could make a little cover actually, for those, slide them in there, and then slide them in there if I wanted to. That's a thought. Now what I'm looking at now is rolling it up, and then just seeing where do I need a button. So I'm feeling like I'm going to need a button about here, about there, yes. So I even wonder, I would love to put one of Carla's beautiful ceramic buttons. My only issue is if I drop it, I mean, I think that is gorgeous. I may go with that, but if I drop it, it's going to break. That's my only thing. So I could use one of those. That's a possibility. Let's just have a look, because they won't break. No. I do love the ceramic one. I like that one or the ceramic one. Why don't I go with that one? Just because I know that if I drop it, it's not going to break. And this is a decision I need to do now, because I am going to, let me just hold it there, just separate it, just flip that out. I need to put that on before I put it all together. It's probably not centered. You know what my care factor is about that sort of thing if it's not centered. So yeah, most of my trip home, I was down in the Southern Highlands, probably for more than half, because I arrived, I went straight down there. I stayed there until that Friday. So what was that? A week? No. Yeah, a week. And then we came home back down. Oh no, I guess I had I stayed there for the week, and then I came back down. My nephew sailed in the 18 footers World Championships on the weekend, and my older brother came down, and so we went on the ferry for 2 days. And as I mentioned in a previous video, Juanette came with us on the Sunday, which was a lot of fun. It was super hot, and then I spent that week in Sydney, I believe. Yes, I did. Oh yeah, we were traipsing around with Juanette, and we went up to Newcastle to see Beck at So Be Created. Fabulous place. We've got a video of that. Then we did we did quite a bit of preparations for our class that was on the 17th down in the Southern Highlands. So I went back down, actually. Yeah, I did spend a lot of time there. I went back down with my dad on the Saturday, and Sarah came and did a day trip because she was busy. And then, isn't this a fun project, guys? And then we did the class, but then I stayed because Mum wasn't so well. And so she just needed to stay, I think, have a few days at her place. So I went and stayed with her for a night. Stayed the night with my dad, 2 nights, and then went and stayed the night with Mum. And we came back on the Tuesday. We went to the Green Door to their sit and sew, which was really fun, or sit and create, really, because Mum said sometimes painters come along, people who paint. So I'm just lining all of this up now. So that was lovely. It absolutely flew the morning. I worked on my other fleur. I can't find it. It's here somewhere. But, you know, with my jet lag, you know, being tired, I don't know where I've unloaded it. I'll have to find it and show you. It's the fleur from the Fibre 8 Arts Takes 2. It's my second one. And I had got a little bit blocked with it. That looks like it's upside down, doesn't it? But that's actually the way, because then that's the flap. Yeah, it's flying around somewhere, but I took it and Fleur just gave me great advice. I was really blocked with it. I hadn't touched it for months. And then she just was like, do this and fold it over and trim it and do that and do. And I was like, and I didn't put it down. So now I saw my 2 best friends. We had a great time too. So I was really excited about that. Right, now this is, I think I cut this, 5 centimeters. I can't remember. I did it before I left. I was thinking I might, now normally I would machine stitch. So what I've done is I've laid them on top of each other like that at right angles, right sides together. What I'm going to do is grab my thread. Oh, here we go. I need a longer piece, and I'm just going to do a little teeny tiny running stitch from there to there to hold it together, because, you know, I wanted to do this all hand stitched as it would have been in the old days. So yeah, I need to pull out the book. I want to have another look at the book that I shared with you in the first video. And yeah, because a lot of you have said, oh, they were for the gentlemen to take to war. I'm just trying to see if I've got the book nearby. I don't. Which is true. However, I do believe the ones in my book are even older than the First World War and the Second World War. So I'm thinking that it was, yes, that was a purpose, but it had also the purpose for the fine ladies to carry around their projects. But I haven't read the book yet, but I do want to read it because it's a historical book. It'd probably be better to draw a line, but anyway, it's just for me. It's not, we're not here to be perfect. Takes the fun out. So I'm just doing a little teeny tiny running stitch here. Actually, I probably should do back stitch, but doesn't matter. Maybe the other one, I've got 2. So this is just so I get my length for my binding. I don't do it on the bias. That's the traditional way, which is on the 45-degree angle. Is that correct? Yeah. I'm not an expert, but I just do it this way. It works fine. I've made plenty of growth charts. Oh no, I didn't bind those, but I've made a few quilts, and you know, and I like to make them up. I don't like to follow a pattern, and this is how I do it. Well, I usually machine stitch it for the quilts, because obviously you have a big long length, but it's just so you can get a nice long piece to do your binding. So we'll just end that off. Literally takes probably take me longer to pull out my sewing machine and set it up and clear a space for it than actually just stitch it by hand. Oh, that's not a very good job there. Okay, and then what I need to do is just trim it off. I leave a seam allowance, just trim that off. And I'll flatten that out in a minute. Now, if you wanted to make, if it was something you were hand stitching and you wanted to make it really strong, you could also then come back and do little teeny tiny stitches there and hold it flat. I may be a good girl and go and iron this. Oh, look at that, I nearly lined up, not on purpose, but I nearly lined up the lines as well. And here's the other one, so we'll just do that one. Just do little teeny tiny stitches. I need to remind myself. Another thing to go straight if you wanted to, you could also add, just put a little piece of masking tape down there and just follow along the masking tape, but I'm just sort of guessing. Just a little teeny tiny running stitch. We don't want big dog's teeth stitches. Always reminds me of my mum telling me, oh, look at those big dog's teeth. Not now, when she doesn't say that. So she might say it. She could be capable of saying that to me. And she'd be right. Oh, I stabbed myself. I still haven't shown you my fleur project yet that we did for the week. Oh my gosh, that was fun. Just full immersion into doing something for me, which really was amazing. Didn't have to think about dinner or anything or keep anybody else happy. I was responsible for what I was doing, and that is a very rare occasion. It was super fun and just a dream come true to do a course with Fleur in person and be there with my mum and my sister. I mean, that they all often go off and do stuff, and I'm like, oh, what about me? I never get to do stuff like that. Okay, so trim that off, and then we'll talk about the whole binding process. Right, now I probably will go and iron. Let's get this out of the way and move this out of the way. It's going to take me a little while, but I want to finish it today. So what I then need to do is I'll iron it in half, like that. I might have done 6 centimeters. Why don't we measure it? Yep, I did 6 centimeters. So I'm going to fold that in half. I'll iron it. I'll go and iron it. I just want to give you an idea of what's going to happen next. And then I'm not going to start right at the edge here. I think I'll start actually I'll go like that, I think. And I'll start stitching. I'll probably start stitching there, and I'm just going to do a running stitch down there. Let me pin it and show you. So I'm going to run, just like I could go and machine stitch it. It'd be much faster in this case, but I don't want it. It's very bulky, and I found it really stressful to I'm going to leave that because I need to fiddle with that when I come back around. But I'm just going to double check too that this is going to be long enough. So, oh, that's a whopper of a pin. So then, yeah, that's going to go like that, and I've got to work this out now. And then you need to, I stitch it to there, and then you need to fold it back on itself like that. See that? And then you'll get the nice edge. So that will be that. Let me just pin it about here just to see. I just double checking. I might need it to be longer. It's not long enough. Okay, well that's a good thing I checked. Now can I figure this out? I need to, oh, I can't figure it out now. I folded that there like that. See, good thing to check. Now when I checked it before, I felt like I had done it right. Now I've got to figure this out. I need that to line up there. Oh yeah, that's it. So need to. Would help if it was ironed as well. That's it. I need to lift this. That's how you do it. And you've got to line it up like that, and then that goes on there. Let's just see. Oh, definitely not long enough. I could actually literally, I don't even need to iron this. I can actually stitch this on. So take that, I've got a pin in there. I can stitch this on. I do need to cut myself another piece though. So that needs to, you need to fold that back up onto there and then put that there. Let's pin it before it. Yep, I need another strip. So I'll do that before I do any more pinning. So what I wanted to do was just to show you, actually I want to start on this side. I'll start up here and then I'll pin that afterwards. I'll add another piece afterwards. I just won't start. I'm actually going to use this needle that's not so chunky because I'm going through many layers and I need a nice amount of, this is very strong. I don't know if it's for tatting or, it's actually quite thick. I may not be able to thread this needle with this one. I may get my regular one. Now, I am not, I repeat, not an expert binding person. So, you seamstress quilters out there, don't flop on the floor when you see how I do it. I am making it up, faking it until you make it at its finest. Right, I'm just going to start here because that will give me some space to maneuver. I just want to start there, and now let's not forget, I want to go as close to the edge as possible because we've got to, this has got to fold over to the other side and do the other side as well. So I don't want to, I'm doing about a 1/2 centimetre. It's going to take me a while. I'm just going to do a running stitch. But I'll put something on and watch it while I stitch, because I am not in a hurry. I think I'm in focus. Oh, didn't even think about that. I better give you a tap. I'm just doing running stitch, guys. That's not rocket science. And I'm just sort of eyeballing, going straight. Kind of a running stitch. It's a stab running stitch because I'm going through, look how many layers I'm going through. A lot of layers. But I just wanted to get a little bit done, just to explain for those who are newbies or something like that. And I'm making sure I pull it tight, and as I said, I'm using a nice strong thread because this is really going to be holding it all together, hopefully for many years to come. It's a bit of a bummer that I need to add more, isn't it? I'm actually going to, getting knots, going to trim off all those straggly bits. Yes, I must trim them off right now because I'm catching them. They're driving me bonkers. Also with my finger below, I'm making sure I can feel all my layers there, that I want to catch it all. I reckon this will take me a little while. I haven't gone very far. And I'm getting tangles because I've got a long piece of thread because I didn't want to have to stop and start all the time. Actually, I could come up and do pull through. Rather than pulling it through there, I'll come back and do my to the top. Now where do I have a tangle? I didn't. Once I get past this pin a little way, I just wanted to show you, once this is done, what's going to happen. So then I can get that started. And if we just finish it off with you guys, maybe. Catching it all, yes. The pin out and just make, you know, just jiggle it, make sure it's all moving along nicely. Now you would go the other way. I'm left-handed, so this is the way I go. If you can manage it with your sewing machine, by all means do it. As I said, I got a lot of bulk here, so I don't think I'd really enjoy the whole sewing machine experience. Now, in theory, we're not going to be able to see. I'm just going to get the fraying bits off. My stitches on the other side, because if I've allowed enough, as I said, just adjust it as you're going. Now, any regular person would have ironed this, but I am not doing it. Okay, so when it's all stitched, what I will do is fold that over, that folds over, flatten it out, and then that goes over that side, and look, and you've bound it. How easy is that? And then you just whip stitch that down. You could iron it if you want to. Notice I say if you want to. So I think I'll pause the camera and go on and keep going around this. And I'm just thinking, as I go along, I may find I've got more length to it. It's very relaxing hand stitching, I must say. You don't want to be in a hurry and have a million other things that you have to do while you're doing it, but it is super relaxing. I actually find the sewing machine I find quite stressful. Even though it's a time saver, I get quite stressed with the sewing machine because, you know, I actually manage to go super crooked with it. We know going crooked is my forte. So I'm going to pause the video now and then I will be back. Okay, so I'm back. I haven't gone all the way around yet, but I just wanted to show you what happens when, I'll put this back just a minute. what happens when you get down to the end here. I've attached another bit. Hopefully I've attached enough. I can always attach another one. So you get down to the end, you go right to the end. I'm doing my little running stitch here. So I'm just going right to the end. Take those pins out. See, yeah, I can keep going a little bit further, one more stitch. I'm just going to bring my, oh no, I'm not. Okay, so I'm right to the end. I don't know if you can see my little stitch there. Now I've got to figure this out. So what you want to do is grab this. So this, I want this to line up. Pull that out. It's a little bit fiddly. You do need to fiddle with it. And just turn it around. So I want this to kind of, I'm just trying to get it together. Yeah. Because, you know, of course, if I ironed it, my life would be much easier. So I'm lining this up along my edge. And so that means that that tucks under, no, that's not right. It tucks. Silly me. Now that I put the camera on, I can't figure it out. That's it. Fold it back like that. I'm going to put a bit of a crease in here. And then bring it back over. That's it. Okay. And then I'll just put a pin in. And then you can continue on your merry way. So then I just come up here. And continue on stitching. So when I get to the next corner, I'll show you again. Just making sure I'm catching both my layers because they're not even. Tell you what, I've been here a little while getting this done. And I'm going to be here another little while because I need to then fold it over and then whip stitch it. But we'll almost be done when that happens, when that's done. I can take that pin out now and you can see, look, you will be able to fold over. Let's just get to this end and then, oops. Now I'm feeling a bit more pressure than you would be because I need to, you're watching and I need to get this done for you. I probably should have added, I added 20 centimeters, but I probably should have added a little bit more just to give myself some leeway here. I'll just make it, I think. I'm not zooming in just for because I'll be at risk of going off camera. I'm nearly at the end here, guys. catching it all. Now we'll be coming to another little fiddly bit. Okay. So, right, I've forgotten already. Oh, bring it back over and that way. Is that right? No. Because it's short. Oh, that's what I want to do. So I've got to, what did I do? I did that. That's right. Fold it out that way. Get your little 45-degree angle and bring it back. Now this is a bit short, so this is an issue for me. I'm just going to put a pin in. Let me have a look here. I can't remember how I end off. I've still got to stitch all of that. So I think normally I would have folded that down, but I don't have a lot of room to do that. Yeah, I need to do that. So what I would do is, I would have normally had a long piece. So normally I would have this piece here, and then you fold it down, and then you have that. Let's see how we go. Maybe I can do it that way. Put this in first, because it's not very long. So if I'd added a bit more, I could have come around the corner. That's why I wanted to come around the corner originally, but I didn't have enough. So if I do this, let's see how we go. Put that there like that, and then that like that. You'll see, and then it will be finished off nicely on the other side. That's it. Got it? So you might have to replay that. It's because mine is too short, so I'm not a good example of how to do it. Okay, so I need to, that's not my needle. It's going to come back here and start going along again. Yep. Now, ideally you would do this up here, which was my thought, but I didn't add enough on. It's okay, I get there in the end. Not ideal the way I did it. I just want to flip it over when I've stitched it, just to show you that it works out. So you don't have, it's so you avoid having the raw edge of your binding. I'm going to say bias binding because it's not on the bias. So I'll just finish stitching this and then I'll be back. So I've done it. So what we need to do now is just come along and trim any excess. I want to get rid of those bits, anything that's sort of sticking out that's going to get in your way when you fold it over and trim. Now this I'm going to trim off because this was an extra bit here. I don't want that bit there. Okay, and then any of these extra bits here. Okay, need a bit of tape to get rid of all that. And here, how are we going? That's all okay. So now we're going to start, I think I'll start in the middle. And I'll just show you quickly. what I'm going to be doing now is working on this side. And I'll just show you. I'll do it off camera because it'll take me a while. I'm going to fold this over, come in with my needle. You could even do it with a contrasting thread if you want to. You're just going to catch and slide along. This actually won't take as long as the other. And I'm stitching down my bias. I'll try and make sure I get through to the back there. Now it won't be perfectly straight or anything like that, but that's fine, so as long as I can cover over my stitches. Yep, I'm moving along nicely here. I purposely didn't start here because this is where I'll be fiddling with that a little bit, but I'll come back on camera when I get to that bit. I just wanted to show you a bit more so I could flip it over and show you what it looks like on the other side. So I'm actually just going through this layer, but I'm not going through to the other side. And I put my finger under there and I can feel it, but there's so many layers that you don't need to go through to the other side. Now I'll do that off camera. You come up here to where your corners are, stitch all the way along to there, and then fold this over that way, and then keep on going. And I'm just going to, I'll just put a couple more stitches in. Yes, it's definitely faster than what I just did. I love that it's all hand sewn. There's no machine stitching. I feel like it's kind of, I don't normally say things like this, but I do feel like I'm getting a feel for what it was like in the old days. And that's what it's going to look on that side look like. And then you can iron it down if you want to. So I'm just going to pause the camera and finish this off. And when I come round to this bodgy bit here, so this is actually, will fold over. I may have to trim a little bit off because it's very bulky there. But what will happen is this will, let's just get this over. This will come over like that, and I'll stitch that down, and then this will be like that. So I'll make sure they try and make them line up. And then on that side, you don't have any raw edges. It shouldn't have been done there. I should have added more and done it more up here, but it is what it is. So I will be back soon. So it's done. And I'll just show you the other side. A little bit wonky, but that's okay. Trim that off. Right, so my next job is I want to fold this down like so. And that's going to be a little pocket there. What I also need to do is insert. I'm just going to try and pin it. It'll be interesting. Maybe I'll use this big whopper. Oh, that's a dangerous one. But I want to insert something to, for when I fold it up, to wrap around there. Oh, I could have moved this up a bit. But, oh no, it's going to fold like that, then like that, and like that. I think, because I haven't got my little bag on yet. I was under the impression I had a, can't think of the words. I was under the impression, I think, could I use this? Got these in Australia. Some seam binding. No, I was under the impression I had some, you know, snap buttons, but I don't. So now I've got to think of something else. That's going to attach on there. I can just put a tie there. Let's just pin this in place. I may not have it 100% finished. So that's, I'm going to stitch a tie on here. on here. Yeah, that's it. So this is going to fold like that, and then like that, and then like that. It's a little bit tight. I probably should have put my button up a little bit higher, but it's too late now. So I would prefer a jute, something jute there. So I need to go into my drawer. Would I like a sari? I think I might like, got this sari silk. Oh, well, that's not going to get me very far. I kind of like that one. Just a second. See what other things I have here. What's this? No, that's too fragile. Now I can't find that sari silk. What about this one? Stitch that in there. Yeah, I think I like that one. But I don't know if that's going to be strong enough. Okay, well, I think I will grab some twine. Just a minute. It's terrible when you're convinced that you have things that you don't. So what I want to do is I'm going to stitch that in there. I've got this twine. I like this one. I'm a bit sad that I didn't put my button up high enough. So I'm actually going to put multiple, and my hand's getting pretty tired doing this. Normally I'd have a break. I wouldn't, you know, power through, but I need to power through. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to go around the twine, but I'm also going in through the twine because you don't want it to come off. So I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to come down here. Actually, I'm going to come down here first. And go through it, and then I'm going to come back up here. And I'm going to stitch right to the end here. So that's in place. Okay, and then I am going to grab this. Right, I put a knot. So I'm going to close this up and make it's like a tuck. I can tuck something in there. So I'm just going to go over here. I mean, talk about make it up. Okay, that's tight. And I'm going to come along here and just catch it. I just slide, you see, I just slide through and then come up over here. If that button is really bothering me, I may have to try and stitch it on again. They don't match up exactly, but it's okay. I will survive. Now, I will give it an iron and that will sit better. If I weren't happy with how it's sitting, that's meant to be like that, I could just put a couple of stitches in there and just hold it down. But I can tuck something up there. So that's what it's looking like. And then I'm just going to, so this folds here like so. I may have needed to make my HUSWIF a bit longer. Oh no, that's going to be all right. Look at that. and that's going to wrap around there like so, and I'm just going to trim that off. I can use that something else and put a knot here to avoid fraying. So that's how it's going to close. That is it. I would have preferred this up here, but you live and learn. But I really like that. Okay, so my only one thing that I haven't finished is this. So I think I'm going to stitch. I don't want these here. I've got to figure it out. I'm going to find something I'll stitch it there and just tie that shut. And then I'm just going to go along here with a whip stitch and also whip stitch it along there, and that will attach my little bag at the bottom of my HUSWIF. So there we go. I'm going to call that finished, even though it's not quite, but you don't need to see that. I've got my pocket there. I've also got this space here. As I mentioned, I'm going to find something nice to make something to hold the scissors. I lose too much of that pretty. I could have it like that. Make a little sort of at an angle pouchy thing and keep the scissors in there like that, and then I might slide them in there behind there. How about that? Something like that. Anyway, you'll see it again. I'm not going to fill it now because this is something that I feel like I might like to use when I go away. I will use this. I will put all my things in this and it will keep it all in one spot. I think I will come and put a couple of stitches in there. I could also slide my scissors up in there, is my thought, and have them in there, which is great. So super, super fun project. I was so excited about this one and it did not disappoint. I'm going to have needles and pin. I can put pins in here as well, like so. And then when you're working, you just stab them in there. I'll keep a few in there. And yep, so then that will fold like that. And as you fold it more, it will stay. That really is bothering me. I wonder if I would be, where would that be? That would go, I'd need to move it up here. Oh, you know what, I can do it. I'll tell you why I can do it. Because I've got my pocket there. See, I always say, if something is bothering you, take it away, fix it, because you won't be happy. And it's been such a nice project. I don't want to ruin it. I'll just trim those. But I am going to do it up here. Is that correct? Yeah, that's better up there. So I'm going to stitch that there, and I can stitch under my pocket here. So that's good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. We love seeing all of your wonderful creations. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.